In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use a single high-level automation in order to, based on the course that somebody purchases or whatever digital product it is that you're selling, how to take that and then tag the user based on what they purchased, send out the proper onboarding or fulfillment emails, and do all of that inside of a single automation, which is a tutorial that I've been requested or that's been requested many times over the last couple of weeks, and I cover it inside of my high-level course, but I don't think I have anything on YouTube for it. So I wanted to create, this is kind of similar to a previous tutorial that I've done, but this one's going to show you how to do it all inside of one automation instead of inside of many. So let's jump in. We're going to start off inside of HighLevel in a workflow. I created a brand new one here, and I'm going to start by creating a trigger, and it's going to be an inbound webhook, because we're going to take this incoming trigger webhook here, and we're going to use this single one for all of our course automations or whatever automations are sending the data over webhook over to HighLevel. I'm going to show you three different methods for sending that data over. One is going to be for Thrive Apprentice, the other is going to be for SureCart, and the last will be from something like Circle. You can, of course, change those and apply them to whatever platform you're using, because the methods I'm going to show you are fairly universal. The only real requirement is that they all have to be from the same place. You can't kind of mix different webhooks across platforms because they all send data differently. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off with Thrive Apprentice first. So we're going to go into our Thrive Automator, which is free if you have Thrive Apprentice, or it's free in general. And we're going to create a new automation. And this one is going to be one that you can replicate for all of your courses. So you can give this whatever name you want. We'll just say course to HighLevel. And we're going to start off by selecting Apprentice, and we're going to say that when a user receives access to a product, and we're going to say always trigger, that's fine. And then we're going to add another action, and that will be to send a webhook. And that webhook URL is the exact webhook we just copied over from our HighLevel automation. We're going to change the request format to JSON or JSON, however you want to say it. And we're going to add some additional fields here because we need to add key and value pairs for the particular course. So our key, we'll just call this one course, and our value, we'll change that to Thrive Apprentice product ID. And product title is actually what I like to use most. I think it's super easy, but feel free to use product ID. You're just going to have to go hunt for that product ID underneath your Thrive Apprentice products, which I'll just show you that real quick if you really want to see it. Open up Thrive Apprentice. Go into your products, open up a specific product, and your product ID will be up in your URL on this page. For example, the one I'm looking at here is 129. That's where you'll get your product ID. It'll say product/number/content. But we're going to go ahead and do it with names instead, because that's just a little bit easier. So that's how you would dynamically insert the product title of what product they got access to. Now we're not done yet. We also want to send over email, and we need to insert this from registered user email. And we also want to send in like maybe the first name, and then click that value to be first name under registered user first name. There's the three fields that we want. Now we can go ahead and click send test, because we have to send a test over to HighLevel in order for it to work. So inside of HighLevel, you're going to see that we're going to get our mapping reference here. It's going to send over the details. It sent over placeholder content because it was a test. Also note that the course value is empty, which is fine. It just didn't send any data over in our test. I'm going to go ahead and click save on that. It automatically creates a field here, or an action here for creating and updating a contact. It has to be there because we have to associate the data with a user. So for here, we'll just click add field, and we will go down to email, and we're just going to map inbound webhook data email. Going to add another field and repeat that process for first name, inbound webhook data first name. And lastly, we're going to, actually that's it. That's it for this step. Click save there. And now here is where we start to enter into the area of, well, what product did they buy? So now we're going to enter in an if statement. We'll do an if else, and this will be, the action will be what course did they buy, or product, or whatever it is you're selling. This branch, we'll just call this one Thrive Apprentice. Actually, do I have that copied? I do. Thrive Apprentice to master. The value we're looking for here is going to be towards the bottom, inbound webhook trigger, and course is, and this is where you put in the exact name as it matches in Thrive Apprentice. So for me, it'd be Thrive Apprentice to master, and then I would just add another branch. So this one would be, let's just say, Thrive Theme Builder Essentials. And in this case, I would say that the webhook, inbound webhook data course is Thrive Theme Builder Essentials. Hit save. Now that I have these branches built out, I can at this point say, well, if the course that they purchased according to the webhook was Thrive Apprentice to Master, then I'm just going to add a tag and have that say, Thrive Apprentice to Master or Thrive Theme Builder Essentials. Probably would have been better under this one because I have it in my clipboard. We'll just say add a tag, put in the new tag, click add, click save so they get tagged. And now I can send an email. And now I can select one of my templates. Let's just say it was this one right here, whatever. Click save action. And that's going to be the email that they get from HighLevel, all about, welcome to the course. Here's how you get started, et cetera, et cetera. And I can continue to add more details here, like wait conditions, like wait for, let's just say 3 days, something like that. I can wait for 3 days, add another email, and I can onboard everybody depending on the course they purchased in these different pipelines. So now when somebody purchases another course, all that I have to make sure is enabled, and it is by default, is to allow people to re-enter this automation. So if I purchased Thrive Apprentice to Master next, I would go through the same automation again. It would see that I already exist because it would find me by my email in this case. And then it would say, well, what did I buy? This time Thrive Apprentice to Master, or one of 50 other products, however many branches I want to have, I can have. So that is the method for Thrive Apprentice. It's going to be extremely similar for other platforms. The next one we're going to look at is SureCart. I think SureCart's pretty popular among my community here. So we're going to grab our inbound webhook URL again. And this time, instead of Thrive Automator, we're going to go into SureTriggers. We're going to choose SureCart, and we're going to say that we can do this when a purchase is created, and we can say, actually, I don't know if I have any products there. Let's click continue. Let's test that out. And for this one, let's just say it was Doug's course. We'll click continue. Let's see if I have any fetched data there. Cool. We'll click save. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say API, and I'm going to click continue. I'm going to choose post. I'm going to change it to JSON or JSON. I'm going to paste in my URL endpoint just like I did previously. And I'm going to wrap and array. No, none of those are fine. We're going to add parameters. And for our parameters, they're going to be the same things that we sent before. We'll go ahead and do email. And our value will be the @ sign. You can do a search for email. They did a great job with configuring this. And we'll just do @value, search for name, customer first name. Okay, so that's the first bit of data there. And we are going to send more. We're going to hit add parameter. And our key will be course again. That's fine. We'll do an @ search. And in this case, the product that we're going to want to look for is our product ID. So let's search for ID. Our product ID is this like string of variables as an example. So in order to find the string of variables, let me show you how to get that. So I'm going to come into one of my products here. I'm going to go to SureCart products, go into the product, and the product ID, I wish they would make it easier. Like I wish they would put it here under this little clipboard, but that's just for the prices. And sorting by price IDs, I don't like this because in SureTriggers, it's not very clear whether it's a price ID or subscription ID, but this is pretty easy. It's literally just in your URL bar and it says ID equals, and then it just gives you a string of variables at the very end of the URL. That's what we're going to use. We're going to copy that, and that'll be what we utilize here inside of SureTriggers to say, okay, what product did they purchase? It was one of these variables. Okay, so this is pretty generic. It's going to say basically whenever they buy any of these products, what are we going to do? We're going to send over the product ID. So we're going to test our action here. And that's going to shoot our webhook over to HighLevel now, where we're going to come back into our inbound webhook trigger. And we're going to search for a new entry, which will be here. And in this example, there it is. So you can see they sent over the email, the first name, and our course with our course ID. So now let's pretend this was the course ID for my Thrive Apprentice to Master course. In this case, we're not using the name of the course, we're using the course ID. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this out and come back in here. And it is course is the product ID from SureCart. And then I'll hit save. And that's going to be the process. And I can, of course, rename this, right? Because this is, well, it's called Thrive Apprentice to Master, as you can see here. So you're going to see Thrive Apprentice to Master, of course, is this serial number. So that's going to give us our ability to determine which course was purchased or product was purchased from our SureTriggers action here. Now, you may want to say to yourself, well, I don't want to send it for literally every single product that's purchased. I only want to do it if it's one of my courses, because if it's a PDF or a template, I don't want to do this. That's fine. We can just go ahead and add in a filter. And our filter event, we can configure this to say we're only going to proceed if at product ID is equal to this one, or if product ID is equal to, and then we're just going to keep doing that. We're going to go through all of our products in SureCart, find all our product IDs for the products we want to care about to get sent over, put them in here manually, and then I'll just remove this one, hit continue. It's fine, hit save. And now what's going to happen is anytime a product is purchased, it's going to say, is it one of our courses or products that we want to push over to HighLevel? If true, go ahead and send our webhook that we just configured over to HighLevel, and HighLevel will say, great, got it. Does this user exist? Yes, no. If no, create. If yes, match this ID. It's going to go over here and say, what did they buy? Did they buy this product ID? Yes, they did. Perfect. Tag them, email them, etc. So that's it for SureCart. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how to do it for something like Circle. In Circle, we're going to use Zapier, because Zapier is one of the only tools that has access to the product purchase API. There's a lot of complexity there, but Zapier is a great solution for this. So you do need Zapier, and this is what I use. So I'm actually showing you my actual Zap that I currently have running. And what it's going to say is, okay, when a new member charge comes in, what happens? I'm going to filter those conditions, and it's going to continue only if the product display name is all access pass, or if it's this product, or if it's this one. These are actually all three the same product display name, but they're just, as you can see here, different variations. One's Convology Plus All Access, the other one was a lifetime offer, and another one's another one. So this is basically doing what we did in SureTriggers, saying a purchase happens. What product is it? It's one of these products. And I'm letting you see here, it's done by choosing the filter for in Circle, the product display name, which is just easy to select in here. And then I like to tag them in Circle. So that's actually a Circle action that tags them. Unnecessary for you. But then here is that webhook posted over. And in this case, what happens is that's the exact same webhook that comes over into here. And it's going to send over the product display name or the product name, and we're able to filter it out over here. Now, just to show how in Zapier you would do this, when you're creating your webhook to shoot over to HighLevel, you're of course making your email name, variables just like we made in the other one, but you're going to add a value set here. We're going to call it course, and you're going to insert the paywall display name again here. And this version is actually more similar to the Thrive Apprentice method, where in HighLevel our if else is going to be the display name that gets sent over, and not just some kind of like variable or string of variables. So here again, this would be course is, and then in this case we would just say whatever our display name was passed over from our webhook that came in. Everything else would be the same. So hopefully that helps you depending on which of the three platforms you're using. I know that most members in my community are using one of those three platforms. However, you can apply this to anything. You can follow the same process. All that really matters is that you're sending a webhook over to HighLevel. You're taking your webhook data and you are filtering it with their email, name, and what they purchased. And then this if condition is going to separate different branches based on that course or product or whatever variable it is that you're sending it over. And then you're tagging and emailing, etc. And this is actually applicable to more than just like course or product sales. You could do this for lead magnets, so that you would say lead magnet comes in, make sure you create the user. Which lead magnet did they get? Lead magnet A, lead magnet B, C, D, etc. And then you can just say, okay, great, tag them for that lead magnet, send them the email to fulfill it, maybe then add them to my newsletter, or you could say, you can add them to a different workflow. So you could say add to another workflow, maybe to my this workflow, for example. Save action. And now after they go through this lead magnet onboarding process, I can send them over to another workflow. If you have any other questions, definitely check out the Convology community, Convology Plus, where I have all my courses and additional trainings and help people build stuff like this every day.